The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com
We were on the break!
with Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, Season 21, Episode number 71. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star and presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at lg.com/OLED Evo. We got a lot of stuff we got to get to today. We're going to start. We're going to get to, as we keep going, we'll get into the Cowboys lost last night. They lose 27-17. We'll talk about the storylines of that game, the areas where the Cowboys couldn't get things going. There were quite a few of those. We'll talk about that. But before we get there, I do want to start by talking about the trade deadline. It looks like the Cowboys have made one move already. Jerry alluded to on the radio this morning with 105.3 The Fan that there is more maybe in the works. He wouldn't be specific, but there were more that at least is being discussed. Let's start first with the move that they did make. They traded a 7th-round pick for linebacker Logan Wilson, a position where they really do need to upgrade. I think we all have been very clear about that. Let's start first with a scouting report. What do we know about Logan Wilson as a linebacker and what maybe he can bring to this team?
Processor, solid in coverage, and I think a good way to kind of frame all this is like versus what you have right now. I think he'll be the best cover linebacker that you have right now. He'll be one of the better processing linebackers right now. If you woke up this morning, you were probably underwhelmed thinking that we were going to get a Quinnen Williams type character, or, well, I can't even say names up here, or just one of these type of characters that's real hot in the streets right now, right? One of those elite type characters. Logan is not an elite type of character, but he's much better than what you have right now in terms of processing versus run and versus the pass. I think he's a solid tackler. There's a lot of talk online about why he was benched. He wasn't benched because he was bad. He was benched because he didn't want to be there no more. And Cincinnati was all like, all right, cool, we're going to bench you because of this. But just me watching this film, he was a good to solid player all the way up until the point to where Cincinnati sat him, and he's much better than anything that you have right now. So when Brother Jerry said that it'll be an immediate impact, I mean, he wasn't lying. You know, he'll be much better than what you have. Not to say that he's a top-tier elite type guy, but he's much better than what you have.
So he's not Ray Lewis.
Oh, no, he ain't Ray Lewis. No.
Just played in the same division.
Good.
Same
Okay,
division.
that's good. Maybe some of that rubbed off. I don't know.
I think Voch nailed this guy. I mean, to me, when you look at him and you start to, as much as the Cowboys have been playing like the zone coverage and stuff, we saw a little bit last night though, a little bit more of the man coverage stuff. You know, with the
we did a
5
lot,
down
yeah.
and those kind of guys. So that was encouraging that way. That's what everybody's wanted to see them do. And I think for the most part, there were some times where actually, the pressures and things like that were good. I think the thing with Logan Wilson, though, you get a guy that when you're asked to play specific coverage, and say it's a drop linebacker zone coverage, and he's supposed to go to a specific area, he's going to go to that area, and he's going to be aware when things come behind him. And that's where I think the Cowboys have really struggled this year. And it maybe it's a little bit more, it's about Murray, but it's about a rookie guy like Shamar James having to play a little bit. And so the lack of inexperience there, maybe a guy that doesn't play with the awareness that you need right now. You did get a guy, as Voch said, that can play in coverage, that can play downhill, can play the run, can tackle well enough, is not going to be in bad spots when it comes to what he's asked to do. He's going to be where he needs to be, but he's going to also be able to make some plays for you that way. It is an upgrade. It's not, as you mentioned, adding a Ray Lewis or something like that, or Saquon, or our guy from Roquan Smith, from that kind of thing. It's not that thing. It's a solid football player that, for the scheme that they're trying to play here, that we've seen here through 9 weeks, will be beneficial for them.
Basically, you can see him starting whenever Demo comes back. That'll be the pair, but he's not stopping you from drafting a top-tier linebacker next year, basically.
Agreed.
Is he a
Last
better
night, I was like, I ran into Bryan halftime. But last night, by the end of that game, I'm like, screw the trades. Forget the trades. I don't care. Keep your picks. Whatever. I'm done with this mess. But then you sleep on it. Yeah. And then you wake up and then you see the news and you're like, okay.
That's
That's all right. I'll take that and a few more if you got them. Because, again,
Keep 'em coming.
By 3 more.
you start analyzing. You're like, okay, you look into the future. It's a guy that's going to be here for a few years. And then on top of that, you got to remember what you got left in the season. Regardless of whether you think the Cowboys are going to make it through or not, you still have some tough teams to face. And you've already been embarrassed a few times with other teams. And now you got to be able to survive and not look like a hot mess. And because even if you think that you're done with the season, which you're not, you're still in it. But even then, Bryan, if you end up looking even worse after facing this teams in the second half of the season, where's morale gonna be for everybody else on the team, regardless if you make a change in coaching or not after the end of the season? But overall, like the trade, bring some more because we gotta keep improving somehow. But he's a guy that definitely gives you a lot more than what the guys that you currently have on the team. And also, I think it takes some pressure off Overshown's shoulders, because when he comes back, we've been talking about him coming back, and we all know that you cannot expect him to be completely magical and all of a sudden change the defense. But you got someone like him come in and be that duo there. I think you're going to definitely improve the defense overall for the season. And I know you need help at defensive tackle too. You need help there in the line. So maybe there's somebody else.
You got all day Jerry on the phone.
Here's one thing I do wonder, and I started thinking about that this morning, looking at the linebacker position and the fact that they're bringing in Logan Wilson and they're waiting for Overshown to return. And you look at the linebackers that they've been playing primarily here for the last couple weeks with James and Murray. Is it a bit of a – I'm thinking of the best way to kind of say this, but do you think that this is an indictment in some ways on Leofau, that during this time when they haven't really been able to get much going at linebacker, he hasn't been the one to be able to step up and get more of those snaps, even ahead of James, who was a rookie, and it seems like he's getting more burn there. Is that somewhat of an indictment on Leofau and where he is in his development?
I think it's an indictment on the scouting department itself. And I say this because you've got guys that Leofau was drafted by the previous regime. Mm-hmm. And now you start to talk about fits. Was this the right fit? Look at Damone Clark, drafted by the previous regime to that. You know, you have a lot of players that are here drafted by various, they had an idea, hey, when we draft these guys, this is what we're going to do. This is our guy. And then all of a sudden, well, that didn't work out. Well, let's get another guy. And then, well, there's another coordinator. Oh, hey, we sat in here during the draft, and when the coaches came in, and the coaches came in, and the day 3, and everybody to the scouts, everybody was raving about Leofau. Everybody was raving. And I don't blame the kid, but you got to understand that probably there's some things that they're looking at, they're like, well, he doesn't do exactly what we want to do.
What they need him to do.
What they need, and that's the problem. That's the problem. And you wonder why that maybe should they have gone quicker on with the Logan Wilson thing? You know, all of a sudden you're looking at this defense, and you're like, man, we're not very good at linebacker right now. You know, maybe Logan Wilson should have been here 2 weeks ago. You know, I mean, why on trade day? And that's why I say I blame the personnel department, but that's unfair. The thing that the fact that they're bringing in guys, and he's not a fit. He's not a fit. He doesn't do what we, look at all. There's just plenty. This defense is littered with those guys. And I think that's the thing that's unfair, is that your players who haven't developed for the previous regime have absolutely no shot at developing for this regime.
You know, Brother Bryan, Brother Eagleton, and Barlita. Something interesting going
Made
on.
us spit up our coffee. Go ahead.
There's something going on with this coaching staff that's very interesting, and I just want to watch myself to not sound too arrogant. At the end of the day, I am a dude with a camera and a microphone. I'm nobody special, but I do trust my eyes. And I say this during draft season all the time. I encourage everybody to just trust your eyes, because more than likely, you're right if you just, you know what I'm saying, just follow your gut. But it's a common theme around what's happening with this staff this year, to where when I'm in camp, I go, boy, Perrion tearing it up out there.
Yeah.
And somebody hit Brian's golden phone and said that they don't believe that Perrion will be all that much of an upgrade in what we got. And I say, well, damn. We'll clearly see Donovan Ezaraku and James Houston as better options. But, boy, it took them cats a long time to get Fowler and old Samuel rotated around this thing. I don't know. It's something else that's going on around here. I wouldn't say that it's Maris's fault. Maris can only do what he's asked to do. But sometimes he's come in games where he's only had 10 snaps and he'll knock somebody out in one play. Yeah. Or he'll cause a fumble in another, or he'll do something. He may overrun something as well, but this is my biggest issue. If Maris is, if he doesn't have the ability to do what they're asking him for, Kenneth Murray don't neither. Yeah. Keeping the buck with you. Shamar really hadn't been doing it, neither. Damone haven't either. So now, I can't cuss on this show, but there's a point where you got to scoop up the stuff off the floor, throw it at the wall, and see what sticks. And every week with my eyes, I'm waiting on this coaching staff or this organization, whoever in charge, I don't know, I don't work here, to see what sticks. But they never pick the stuff up off the ground. It seems like the vibe around the organization now is that, Kenneth Murray, we got to find a better option than you. That's just the reality of what it is. This is a results-based business. Derek Eagleton, you trust your eyes. You've been saying this since week 4 or something. Like, hey, man, what's going on? Ambar been saying since week 5 or something. Like, hey, man.
After she heard me say it.
Like, hey, man, what's going on?
Nah, since training camp.
Well, pardon me.
Since those practices.
I'm just trying to cut y'all a break.
Me and Nate see the reality.
I feel like we can all. We're not experts here. I'm saying that for also me. But I trust my eyes enough to go, hey, man, this cat that y'all ain't been playing, I've seen him do good things. Mm-hmm. In a game, to Maris's point, I've seen him in games do good things. What's stopping y'all from trying or making an attempt? Because your offense is so bad. I mean, your defense. Your defense, I'm upset. Your defense is so down into the 32s. What's stopping you from making the attempt to see what Maris is?
Is it going to get worse? Is the question.
It can't get no worse. Right. So there's something extra going on with me. He don't strike me as a cat that don't know the plays, because there's people on the field that don't know the plays.
They did it yesterday with Carson. I mean, and I'm not trying to. Please. I'm not trying to take you out of this.
But, because it's 6 other names. But
but they got tired of seeing what was going on at corner. Yeah. They got tired. They're like,
same thing happened at right tackle.
Sure. But see, the right tackle, he had the guy filled in. Had his.
But I'm saying, like, they at that point they were just kind of like,
I am okay. I am totally okay. To everybody's point of like, hey, and if I was in the personnel department and I had a say in stuff, I would say, are we cool should we think about this? And they'll say, well, just you worry about scouting. And I go, well, I am worrying about scouting. I'm trying to get maybe some better players, or do we need to go get better guys? Obviously, they felt like they needed to get a better linebacker. Yeah, sure. When maybe they have some guys on here that could actually be what they were looking for. That's the unfortunate thing. I think I just feel like that I make the big deal about the 3 different coordinators, sure. the way that this organization, and I'm not killing them for this because coaches are involved, but when you have that type of input, your team is going to, well, he's not our guy. He's not our guy. That's our guy. And so.
But if your ass finna get fired, somebody need to be your guy.
I agree.
I
totally agree.
Because Logan ain't that guy neither.
I think to me I think the thing about it was though with the whole thing, I'd love to see Maris Leofau play more, but I worry that Maris Leofau was beloved by a previous regime, and it's hard for him to get headway even though the eye test that Voch is talking about appears that he probably needs to be playing a little bit.
Yeah, I think sometimes coaches also have a tendency. They'll see certain characteristics that they like and certain characteristics.
They're around these guys all the time.
Right. And the thing that happens is the characteristics they like, they keep waiting for that to show up in games. Yeah. Like Kenneth Murray, you look at him and you look at his build, all those things, and you're like, man, he looks like he should be a really, really good middle linebacker. And I'm not saying they're basing this decision on just how he looks, but I'm saying there may be traits in what they see in him where they're like, man, if we can just get him there, we can get him there, he can get there. And then they may, on the flip side, may look at Maris and be like, it's this one thing that we think will be a hindrance. This one thing keeps bothering us, and it forces them to not make the decision, let's just put him in there and see how he plays, right? I think those are the things that sometimes happen, and I think those are sometimes the things that holds coaches back because they see something, and it either is really good or really bad, and they're like, they can't get past it to really see, here's the production level of that person.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen during this bye week, kind of the behind-the-scene decisions that are made, because something that I thought was really interesting was the decision, and I know we have to go to break.
That's all right.
But the decision that Schottenheimer made in the first quarter where they decided to go for it on fourth down instead of kicking that
We're going to get to that.
I'm okay.
I know we are.
We're going to get with that. We're going to get to that.
But my point to that, and we'll get into it in the when we come back, but the thing is, behind that, it just goes back to, sure, I know he trusts his team, but there's a shift there of where now maybe he's not necessarily trusting the defense at this point anymore, and he's saying, hey, we're going for it. We know what we got on the defense, but we'll talk about it after the break.
This goes right back to trusting your eyes. Believe what you see. I'd have went for it too. I was being humble earlier. I think I'm good at this. Play parity.
All right, we're going to take our first break. We're going to come back. We'll dive into this game. Cowboys lose 27-17. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman here, the official pitmaster of the Dallas Cowboys. This holiday season, I've got Yeti's new insulated bowls and food storage working overtime. The insulated bowls are amazing. It'll keep queso warm or guacamole fresh. And the food storage containers protect my ingredients and help me stay organized. They also make great gifts for the host, making Yeti bowls and food storage MVPs for the holidays. Get yours at Yeti.com or a Yeti store near you.
I'm home. Hey, Mom. Before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service. Guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Cowboys fans, here's the game plan. Touchdown Tuesday at Take 5 Oil Change. Just wear your Cowboys gear and save 25% on your oil change. No huddle, no overtime. Just drive in, stay in your car, and roll out. You'll be tailgate ready in 10 minutes flat. Keeping up with your car shouldn't be a tough call. Take 5 makes it as easy as calling the coin toss. Take 5 is the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit take5.com to find a location near you. Offer valid through December 31st, 2025. Terms and conditions apply. Valid only at participating locations.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Welcome back. It is the second segment of the break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. This segment is brought to you by blockchain.com. All right, let's get into this game. The first thing that happened in this game that I think is noteworthy, and I think it set the tone for what happened yesterday. Cowboys have an impressive first drive. They get down in a goal-to-go situation. It's now 4th and goal. I think they had 4 yards to go, 4th and 4. Fourth and goal at the 4.
4th and 4, yeah.
And they Shoddy opted to be able to go for it on 4th down as opposed to kicking the field goal. It was not successful. Turnover on downs. When it happened, actually before it happened, when they first made the decision they were going to stay out there, Nick and I looked at each other and we both were like, I don't like this decision. I think for me, the reason why was because I think in those kind of situations, it's one thing if it would have been 4th and goal at the 1 or 4th and goal at the 2. 4th and goal at the 4, to me, feels like there's less of a chance you're going to convert it. And quite frankly, I think the momentum shift that happens when a team gets driven on down the field, all the way down the field, gets into a goal-to-go situation, and then gets 4 stops, I think that's a big shift. And on top of that, your defense is not one that you feel like, hey, if they stop us here, that's okay. They're going to be backed up. In 3 plays, they'll be punting. That's not the kind of defense that you have. And so for that purpose, I thought you need to get these 3 points. Points are important. Points are very important every time you go down the field because guess what? Every time the other team gets the ball, they're probably going to get points, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. You need to keep up. That was my rationale. What did you guys think as it happened? Not considering the outcome, what did you think of the decision before the outcome?
You know, Derek, it's interesting that all the points you made, I feel like that's the exact same damn points I can make to rationalize why you go for it on 4th down. Because you could be like, well, the Cardinals going to score, so we should take the points. That's my point. We should be scoring 7 because they going to score.
But they're not always going to score a touchdown.
I think they always
They did not yesterday.
You said not hindsight. You said not hindsight.
Yeah.
Hindsight, Jacoby Brissett lucked us out one time. You overthrew it a little bit to the right, maybe had a little miss there and a penalty and a long little something there. But for the most part, if I'm Brian Schottenheimer, in my mind, I go, man, we ain't finna stop nobody today. And that'll be the reason why I'm constantly going for 6. I'm going to be constantly going for 6, especially if I'm the Cowboys offense. After that drive where you couldn't really stop me at all, I'm going, hey, man, even if I don't get it right here, in my mind, if I don't get it right here, I'm just going to keep doing this again because y'all can't stop me. They eventually stopped you. But in my mind, my thinking is I can't trust this defense whether they got to drive 95, 30, 50, or 76. I need to put not only score every time, I need to get 6 every single time. Because I've been in games this year to where we've kicked for 3. And I go, man, 3 not going to get it right there. 3 is not going to get it right there. So you all can have the point, and this is a 2-on-2 because Ambar finna make the point. So you all can make the point of at that point in the game I wouldn't have. I think this defense is so terrible. Every point in the game is that point in the game. I said this earlier talking to Bryan. If you watch the broadcast view, there's a point in every single game where the broadcaster goes, hey, man, this seems like the play of the game here where, you know, it's either going this or this or this. I think that happens every single time the Cowboys get in a situation like that, and it's either 0, 3, or 6 every single time. So watching that, knowing that I just had faith that Jacoby Brissett was going to drive down there and just do his thing, I'm like, bro, if we don't get 7 right here, it could get bad. It just happened to get bad because you didn't score nothing. You ain't scored nothing, so it got bad. But either way, Ambar, please.
Bryan, go ahead.
Ambar, no. Brian's on my team.
No, go ahead, Bryan.
So go what Derek's hosting. So.
Let me bring to the court of public opinion Exhibit A. Second half drive of the Cardinals, first drive of the second half.
Thank you, Bryan.
That right there is all you need to know. Every time you see a 3-play march the way they did, they come out, the first pass is 55 yards. I'm thinking, oh, okay. You know, haven't had a chance for my
right out of halftime.
Right out of halftime.
Yeah.
This is, I think, actually the defense. I think there were some moments where they were actually pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, later in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think your offense let you down yesterday. I really do. But Exhibit A for me of why go for it was exactly what happened on that. Every time I think it's going to be the drive that started the second half. I just do. I just don't. It's a huge play. It's another huge play, and then it's a walk-in touchdown, or somebody falls down, or they miscommunicate. I got to have every opportunity to have 7 there. I just can't. I'm like Voch. I'm sitting there thinking like that. Hey, I've done this before. I could drive it on them again. Okay, we'll just saddle back up and do it again. But they didn't. They didn't. They never got back to that. But I just think this defense, like I said, it's that second half drive. Just that just reminded me of where they are at on defense at times, and that's always why I would never punt, and I'd always go for the touchdown in those situations.
But I think that's also where I look at it. I'm like, after that, before they went for it on 4th down, I believed what you just said, Bryan. I was like, oh, that was a really nice drive.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll be back. They'll keep doing this all day. Yeah. And the moment they didn't get that 4th down, that's when the doubt started to creep in of, like, is this going to be like it was last week? Is this going to be this offense not really being able to get everything going as they need to consistently throughout the game to keep up? And I think that's why when I say momentum shifts, that's what I mean by momentum shifts. Is it's one thing when you can have a really great drive. If that ends in 3 points, you come out of that drive feeling like, okay, we did some good things. Next time we get in the end zone. You come away from that drive with 0 points and you were at their 4. You come away from that like, what just happened?
You did
like,
that twice.
But I'm saying like, I think those are the kind of momentum shifts that I don't want to give the other team. There's no reason to give them that early in the game. Take your 3 points. It's there for you. By the way, as bad as this defense has been, and this is going to sound really weird. It sounds like we're really setting the bar extremely low. But most games this year, they haven't given up a touchdown every time. They've given up a field goal at least some of the time. So my thought is, if you're going to keep up, at least you need to score every drive. Like, you need to come away with at least 3 every drive in order to keep up. Coming away from 0 is just not an option.
Here's my thing, and I agree with most of what you both said.
Of course you do.
But my problem is the timing of it.
Sure.
I did not like for that decision to be made right off the bat in that first drive.
Why not?
And I had issues with that drive because even though they did have some good ones there, some good plays, you got a drop from Schoonmaker and then Ferguson. And those two, you gotta feel the vibe, you can't just, you gotta, I was feeling it.
Like
I should say, I was not feeling it. Something was just like,
Why him?
Yeah.
Why him?
Go to 3.
Because you can set the tone. Yeah, sure. Let's set the tone. But if you make it, you do the opposite if you don't. So it's not always very smart to do that. And sometimes we've seen it with this offense this year that it kind of takes a few drives, maybe after the first drive for them to, get to the end zone. But right there to begin right off the bat, and it just gives me a sense of where like, oh, now we're not trusting the defense at all right off the bat. And credit to the defense, actually, because this is the most I've seen them do. When you talk about stats, I mean, I was busy posting graphics yesterday from the defense, things that I have not used all year.
That's you doing it?
In Spanish.
In Spanish.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I don't do those.
Oh, you don't follow? You don't follow someone?
Because I don't speak it.
Okay.
I thought you spoke it.
Yeah.
Wasn't y'all? Amber, let me ask something.
Wow.
Because you don't seem like type person that's ever shot dice in a bad neighborhood before. You don't seem like type. Maybe Derek has. But there are certain things that you wouldn't do normally. But urgency requires you to take chances.
By the way, Ambar, I haven't either.
We know. Maybe, like there's a circumstance.
I don't believe that, but go ahead.
There's a certain circumstance that's making you do this dangerous thing. Traditionally in football, I even heard like Babe Laufenberg talk about it, right? Traditionally in football, Brad talked about it too. Old man football, take the points and play defense. But we're in a bad neighborhood. We need to get this money and go. There needs to be more urgency to the table because of who we're dealing with. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't think
I'm not scared of going for it. You're playing at home, which you have shown.
No. You're not scared of going for it, but you're scared of going for it early. You're saying early, I'm not going.
First drive.
I think we're in a bad enough neighborhood where we need points all the time. Because it's dangerous.
Yes,
here.
that's the point. Yes, we need points all the time.
Now we need
so
if
you have a chance for 3, you're not in a position to be like 3 just ain't. I don't care about 3. I only want no.
That's where we disagree.
No,
I've seen teams.
You're in a position where you need points. Wherever they come from, you tell me I'm gonna get a safety. Yep, bring it on. I need 2. Give me 2.
How many?
That's where
I
we
need.
disagree.
I need points.
How many
every
times?
I don't think 3 is enough.
How many times, Derek, have we been in these games where it's like we're kicking too many field goals?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
And you're like going, we're kicking too many field goals today. We're kicking too many field goals today.
I make that assessment once I'm into the second and third quarter, and we've now kicked 3 where we've been in the red zone. I don't do that on the first drive. On the first drive, I say I had a nice drive. I got down in a goal-to-go situation. They got me to a 4th down. I take my 3. I move on, and the next time I'm getting in the end.
Did you feel like that Arizona was going to stop you though when you got down there on the 4-yard line?
Honestly, I was shocked that they stopped them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I think you had momentum. I do think you had some.
And that's my
point.
And
if Steele doesn't get overwhelmed, you got Ferguson wide open in the corner, but the quarterback couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Couldn't even go through his progressions. And I understand that part of it, but to me, I appreciate the coach trying to make. I mean, he was trying to say, let's finish this thing off.
Please.
I mean, to me, kicking the field goal would have been like, damn, we just drove this and we just 16 yards, 15 yards, 18 yards, and now we're kicking field goals. That seems like kicking a field goal that's like a win for them.
It's a win for them.
But guess what?
And they don't even need momentum. We so bad on defense.
0 was a bigger win for them. That's my point, and that's my whole point. Is
you got to gamble.
I hear what you're saying. Sure. I'm just for me at that point in the game. If it would have been a little later in the game, and I'm seeing this is a consistent theme we're getting in the red zone, and we're not getting touchdowns. At some point, you say, okay, we're gonna go for it, right? We're gonna go for it. At that point in the game, first drive, you had a successful drive. Why give up the momentum? Take the points that are there for you and see what happens the next time. Like, keep extending. You're on the board. Let's keep going.
Next year, I'm with that. I think a normal defense, I'm with that in a normal season. But I think how bad your defense is expedites the urgency that, hey, man, I just seen Russell Wilson throw for 450 and 4 touchdowns against these cats. Yeah. I know Jacoby going to get busy because that's what all the quarterbacks have done this year. Bo Nix put 40 on these people. I'm not just going to just assume that they're not going to get 6 right here. I'm going for it every time. I'm gambling.
All right, let's take our final break. We will come back. We'll get into some other topics. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. But we got a lot to get to. And by the way, we got another show tomorrow. So we'll get back to it. We'll be back at DallasCowboys.com radio.
Man.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
Back to the break.
AT&T connecting changes everything.
Welcome
Stay
back.
on your lane.
Read the thing.
Stay in your lane.
We are in the final segment of the break live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the start. We got about 7 minutes left here. I did want to talk about the offensive line. Yesterday, I think really both tackles. Well, you could actually say all three tackles.
Three tackles.
All three tackles struggled yesterday. And coming into this game, I don't quite remember it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't recall us talking last week about this being some vaunted pass rush and these defensive ends. We know Josh Sweat. We've seen Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's not a bad player. But I did not expect yesterday he would be a beast like he was.
Well,
and
Derek,
it seemed like there were all kinds of issues at the tackle position when it came to stopping him and others.
Well, I'm not told you so, guy, Derek. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hit that last week?
I'm not. Brian, tell him, man. Brian, tell him. I'm not told you so, guy.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, man, if it's a way that they can whoop up on you, it's putting pressure on the tackles. I did kind of say that, Derek. But I'm not here to be told you so, guy. You forgot already. It's all good. Go ahead and finish your point.
Maybe you didn't express it strongly.
I expressed it strongly.
Maybe it was kind of like, this could be a possibility.
No, me and you talked about this for a minute.
Really?
We talked for 6
Well, you know what it is? It's like sometimes when someone just talks so much,
Ambar, just give me
they
credit.
give so much information that it's hard for the other person to retain what exactly was said.
Ambar,
you missed the point, right?
Yeah.
Ambar, have some class. You could just say I was right first, and then you can go into your little joke.
I will say
the compliment
one thing that
sandwich.
he never stops talking about are the offensive linemen.
That's true,
So
yeah.
he does always talk about the tackle.
Honestly, I was not expecting.
Calais Campbell, too. I said Calais Campbell
But by
get
the way,
busy in the middle.
I know Calais Campbell's a good player. I know Josh Sweat's a good player. I didn't expect them because what we've seen so far, and this is I guess where the question's going.
Yes, sir.
What we saw yesterday was not necessarily a huge departure from what we've seen at other times this year. There have been other times when games where Dak was under duress the entire game. It didn't turn out like this. What was the difference yesterday?
Dak couldn't avoid.
He couldn't get away
He
from
couldn't get avoid. Dak has been the deodorant for a lot of pressures. Every week when we break down the games, you go through the offensive line and you go 3 pressures, 4 pressures, 5 pressures, 4 pressures. Everybody's got multiple pressures. So to me, this was a game where we'd seen Dak avoid, or previous games we'd seen Dak avoid pressures and make those throws. This game wasn't one of those.
Was it about the coverage or the receivers not getting open? What was the reason?
Quick pressure.
It was just quick pressure.
It's like when all of a sudden when Dak was looking for someplace, and if you look at the 5 sacks, they all have a common thread. It's somebody getting pushed and Dak trying to step and then gets captured. Usually Dak is able to kind of step out of stuff or spin out of stuff and then go. He couldn't do that. When he tried to move or navigate in the pocket, he couldn't go anywhere. And then you had his own lineman on top of him and the guy, or getting around, or it was a quick move inside and now he's trying to avoid, and he made that defensive tackle miss, but oh wait, here's the guy, here's the end that's going around Nate Thomas. Yeah. That was the game yesterday. Dak's inability to avoid the quick pressure was their downfall on those 5 sacks, in my opinion.
Also, if you're a pass rusher and you know that pass is coming, then you can rush freely. Yeah. The threat that you can get hit back in the mouth slows you down a little bit, you know. And I think that when the defense puts you in a place where you have to throw the football, you can't run as much. Because
the run game was actually performing pretty well.
The run game was phenomenal until it wasn't. Please.
Yeah.
Please, Brian.
This is the thing that you and I talked about this morning, though, Voch.
Yeah.
Teams are okay with you running the ball.
Yeah.
They're like, it's kind of like the Vic Fangio old way of like, sure, yeah, run the ball, fine. You can't, you're not going to score any points. We'll figure it out. We'll stop and we'll make you play. Eventually, you're going to have to throw. But look, every it seems like every week Dallas plays, they have a really good running game. We talk about it every week. It's like, well, the guy had 80 yards, guy had 100 yards, guy had 75. Wow, it's a good running game. like it's to the point where Dallas's running game is not helping them because teams are just saying, yeah, go ahead and run. And they're worried about Dak. They're worried about Pickens. They're worried about Lamb. They're worried about Ferguson. Those are the guys they're worried about. Those are the guys that are going to kill him in a game. It's not Williams. But Williams has done a really good job. But every time we said, yeah, it's a loss. What happened? Oh, well, Williams ran the ball well. The other team's going, yeah, great, you lost. You ran the ball great, but you couldn't do anything else. Yeah. That's the issues right now. There
and right
teams
now,
are okay with you.
You don't think it's an issue though of the receivers. You think it's just a situation where basically the offensive line is not protecting well enough, and Dak's not able to.
That cover 4 stuff is no joke.
Yeah.
And Dak is usually a cover 4 killer, but the way that these guys play, you play 93% zone. Yeah. And you make it difficult, and you didn't have the downfield chunks that we've seen from this. Dak had to make some great throws, but the protection wasn't there for him. And when the route running too late in that game, and I wrote down in my notes there were some playground routes, but when it gets 3rd and 17 and it gets 4th and whatever, they're going to be, but they had a hard time getting through that Arizona secondary. They really did.
When you mentioned the receivers, because it's easy to assume, the receiver didn't make that play, but then on some plays, when you look at it, and you look at the pressure that Dak is having, it throws off the timing. It throws off the timing of when the ball is supposed to get there, when he's supposed to make that throw. And in just a few seconds, screws up the whole play. So I felt like there were several of those happening. And if you really dissect what's happening, it all falls back to the offensive line, the protection, and Dak being off his game too. I think now it's starting to affect us. It's also like, okay, well, in previous games where they were more successful, Dak was the one covering up the whole mess that was happening at the offensive line. So they've been getting pressure before, and Dak has been able to come out of it successfully. So now is it just a matter of just the talent on the defensive line of the opposing team that is just better than the previous teams that they've been facing?
I think Josh can rush. I think Zaven Collins would be one of the better rushers on your team right now. Yeah. I just think that you got in a situation where you can't run the football and you're behind and you cloud the coverage in this cover 4, cover 6, or cover 2, whatever they decide to run out. Yeah. And Terrence just didn't stand much of a chance like that. It is what it is. But Josh Sweat is like, he ain't them guys, but if there's a tier like right up under there, Josh Sweat can
He's had some moments in his career when he has played Terrence Steele, and he's given Terrence Steele some problems.
Didn't he have like two sacks in the Super Bowl last year?
Yeah, something like that.
When he was with the Eagles. So I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a bad pass rusher. I just did not expect him to just, and it was like they were just moving him around. He was whooping everybody in front of him, and it made me just think like there is no real answer at this point for the Cowboys if all 3 of them are going to play like they played yesterday. Because you thought, okay, well, we could always slide Nate in there. Nate will be fine. He can kind of stabilize things if one of the 2 isn't playing well.
Nate wasn't great.
Nate didn't have a great day. And so it's like when all 3, like what recourse do you have at that point when neither of the 3 tackles that you have that you're running out there are playing at a level that you need them to play at?
Real answer is run the football, but you can't.
You can't, right.
So call Tyron Smith or something. Everything else ain't working.
All right, we appreciate you guys, Jones. So we're going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's going to be a Wednesday, but we might do a little bit of diving into the brain of Bryan Broaddus because we don't have a team to get ready for this week. So we'll do a little of that. We maybe hit a little more, few more topics from that game that we didn't get to today. We'll do that for tomorrow for Voch Lombardi, Bryan Broaddus.
Hopefully discuss some more trades.
Yeah.
If they happen today.
Hopefully there'll be a little more.
We're going to take y'all calls tomorrow, basically, is what he's saying. Go ahead.
It's a gumbo show. We're going to do a lot of different things. All right, for Voch Lombardi, Bryan Broaddus, and Ambar Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!